It's almost 3 o'clock, so Mr. Zhulong, shall we start? You ready?
Yeah, right. Yes,
Okay,
I'm ready.
okay, everyone. Welcome back to our RWF online Wushu classroom. So today is still our old friend, Mr. Zhu Dong, come from Shanghai University of Sports, and he will bring us a lecture named Wushu Basic Training Methods. So let's welcome Mr. Zhu Dong to start his lecture.
Good afternoon, everyone. I guess maybe some of you are just still in the morning, right? So today it's my pleasure to share some idea of the Wushu training about the basics to you. So let me start. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you see that? So when we mention about the basics of Wushu, that is maybe everyone just thinks or the basics. Every day I instruct my student just like that. So actually the content of today's lecture will be like this. Wushu training system in China. So you must know the system in China and the method for developing Wushu level and why do you need to practice Wushu basics. Last, that also is the important part. This is the main part, that is the contents of the basics. Today I will talk. So tell you that is the Wushu training system in China. The lowest one, Wushu club. We have Wushu club. This is for basic. And also for some schools, they provide Wushu as one of the sport to kids. So they just enjoy after school. They can receive the Wushu practice. This is a not very serious one. And we also have sports school for some talent kids. If they have Wushu talent, maybe they just practice at Wushu school, or we have another Wushu school that is a special Wushu school. And then if the kid's level is good enough, maybe he will be recruited, enrolled to the urban team, represent the city to take part in the competition. After that, if he can be ranked to the top 3 or top 6 in kind of the urban Wushu championship, he might be qualified, be recruited, be enrolled to provincial team. So for that time, that is a professional team. So they spend most time to train Wushu. So they spend less time to practice, less time to study the academic work. And also we have national team. So when you bring your athletes to take part in the competition, you will see China team, right? Actually, the China team is a temporary team. They just temporarily from provincial team. So why they just organize as a China team? During that time, they represent the top level of China Wushu athletes. For this kind of members, they just win the gold medals or top 3 in that championship in China. Therefore, they might be qualified, represent China team to compete. So you face the top level of China. Actually, it's very hard to compete, right? And what kind of work do they do, right? Wushu club, Wushu school, they spend most time to practice the 基本功 or very few movements or very short form. We call 套路, right? Very short 套路. The purpose of the kids practice during that time, that is for health, self-defense, or also for fun, for enjoyment. So after that, for sports school, they might learn some short form because their level is not only just they know how to practice 基本功, they also learn something else. So they gradually learn short form or kind of 器械, the weapons. After that, if they are qualified, if they compete, they take part in the competition and be qualified for a top 3 or top 6, they the member of the urban team. So they learn the complex forms, so such as the Guiding form, also international forms. So for that is for competition. So the third level in China, that is their level can be mixed to the amateur to professional. After that, they can, if they take part in the competition in urban or in provincial championship. So if they are qualified, if they win the gold medal or they are ranked to top 3, they are qualified to be the member of the provincial team. So therefore, they just slowly go for their professional Wushu training, the national team. And we select our talent athletes during level 1, level 2, and level 3. So understand, so how can we have some very good athletes? In fact, we have a big population. We have big population, so we have enough chances to select, okay, who is good, who is bad. Therefore, if you want to compete the China team, the better way that is you know the training method. I cannot say every Chinese coach is very good and spend economical time to instruct their students. Therefore, if you know the right way to instruct your athletes, you can save the time. Okay, therefore, before we talk about the 基本功, right? We also need to know about this kind of theory, learning and practicing. Practicing and learning paradox exists because certain variables affect practice performance and the retention performance in an opposite manner. For example, practicing variants of a movement instead of practicing the same movement repeatedly hinders practice performance but enhance learning. Okay, this kind of sentence is a complicated, right? Let me go on. For example, asking an individual to repeatedly shoot a basketball from the same spot on the floor will enhance the individual's ability to successfully make that particular shot in practice. However, by asking the individual to repeatedly take shots from different spots on the floor will enhance the learning of the shooting skill, but will likely result in fewer successful shots. So the question is, what do we get from the theory? The theory that is learning many forms. For example, in Wushu, right? Learning many forms can improve their learning capacity. So maybe you face the situation. 老师, teacher, master, can you teach me new form? Yes, I teach you new form. Right, so you are thinking, oh, I need to learn new form. The new form only can improve your students, your athletes, the learning capacity, but cannot improve his level. So focus on one form repeatedly practicing, improve the level of performance. Therefore, why do we practice basics every day? Because we need to be the movement, the performance is good. Therefore, there is a kind of sentence. In Chinese sentence, we call it 熟能生巧. In English, practice makes perfect, right? So the content of, generally, the content of the 基本功 just include kicks, 推法, right? The kicks, many kicking, and 身法. We have kind of body method, such as body turn, 算腰, waist turn, and something else. And also 步法, stances drills. So we do kind of 弓步, 马步, 虚步, right? And we also have jumps. I know some of you or many of you right now encounter very difficult part. That is, how can you instruct your students to the 难度, right? The difficulties. So I will mention this later. And also we have some 叠扑. The 叠扑, that is a tumbling. So we have, for example, in traditional style, we have tumbling. Also, we have kind of the application for the traditional style. But today I don't mention this. Today, the lecture I will give you is not like this. not like you training. Okay, we start from 腿法、身法、步法. What I'm going to do, I will do like this. The kicks, first I will introduce the kicks. And then go on, continue the kicks. Why we practice kicks? Because in our jumps, we also do nandu. We need the kicks. And how can we do kind of exercise drills to improve our nandu? So just like that. I will continue right now. Okay, how to stretch? Regarding to the flexibility, we need to stretch. So you arrange your students, your athlete to stretch. This is front stretching. For that is a side stretching. I don't spend too much time focus on this. And this is a 斜压腿. Why we do this? This is a kind of we stretch the lateral ligament. And another one is a backward stretch. This is a kind of, we sometimes call it traditional one. This one also is sometimes is important. For the backward stretching, we need the coach to help or the partner, teammate, help someone else hold the leg to reverse stretch. Okay, this is important, right? It's a front split, 竖叉, and this is a 横叉. So sometimes you may ask, oh, the 横叉, your students is very stiff, very tough at this side split. But to be honest, the side split 横叉 is very important. Why? When you do the side so kick, this flexibility depends on the 横叉, the side split. Therefore, it's important. And also, if you want your kids, your student kick very high, the side kick, side so kick, 侧踹腿, or 平衡 very high, you also need 斜压腿, lateral stretch. So this is important. It's kind of exercise improve their flexibility. Okay, let me go on. Except that shoulder stretching is important. So this looks very easy, but this shoulder stretching improve the motion range of the shoulder. When you do the movement, if athletes, the hands like this, that is very stiff. So you need to arrange the drill to improve the flexibility of their shoulder. Okay, this is a crouch stance, or sometimes we call drop stance stretching. So why we need this? Actually, the purpose of 蹼步压腿 is to improve the motion range of the ankle, also improve the flexibility of lower limbs. For some athletes in China, we don't have this kind of situation. That is your student, the flexibility of the ankle is okay in China. They can do 蹼步, they can stand there, but in Europe, in the United States, the motion range of the ankle is really tough. So need to do kind of the crouch stance in order to improve the flexibility of this and also the ankle here. Okay, how to kick? This is a 正击腿. Take a look. So the question is how many repetitions, how many kicks for one boat, right? Generally in China, 10 kicks, 10 times, 10 repetitions. Or, we cannot arrange too much. If 20, that means it's improve their endurance. Actually, we want to improve their speed and also flexibility. So for this exercise, improve their flexibility. If they don't kick very fast, kick very slowly, slowly stretch the flexibility of their kick. And if kick very fast, to improve their kick speed. However, also to help complete the 腾空飞脚. You may ask me, oh, why? Because the 腾空飞脚needs the kicking speed of their right leg if they jump with their right foot. And in order to improve the 腾空飞脚, we also just organize the 单拍脚 front snap kick for students. Take a look. Okay, you will see the 单拍脚 is at our form we have 单拍脚, right? And the 单拍脚 also is very good in order to improve their 腾空飞脚. Okay, right now let's take look the 腾空飞脚. So we call it jump front kick, okay, 腾空飞脚. How to instruct this jump? First, if you face to instruct the 腾空飞脚, okay, a few parts you need keep in your mind. That is jump height, right? And also leg kicking speed, take off technique, core strength, and the right technique in air. So I will continue. This is the process of 腾空飞脚. Take off, then kick, swing the left foot, and do this. Remember, keep in your mind that is the left foot is bent, and the knee up, knee tucked close to the chest, and his toes is tiptoe. Okay, the common mistake like this. Can you see? Here, the knee is dropped, and also the ankle. You can see the ankle that is the flexed. So for this, that is a general mistake. When we see the 腾空飞脚 looks like this, we will see his 基本功 is not good. And the question is why they have this? Because, you know, for this kind of jump, he's scared of the landing. For the kids or for the athletes, he's not confident to jump. Therefore, he had to flex, keep his foot like this to ready to land. Because the tiptoe is really dangerous for human being if he's scared in his mind. If he's not confident to do the landing, he will prepare just like the new airplane. Just try if they just fly the new airplane, they always drop the tire, the wheel, in order to land immediately, right? This also same idea. That's for human being. He just self-protection. He protect him not get injury from the jump. Therefore, like this. For some coach, oh, you just keep your tiptoe. But no matter how hard you instruct, if you don't have kind of technique, the students still will do like this. Therefore, you need to build up the confidence step by step. First step, that's kicking speed. So I just mentioned before, the front kick. Kicking speed is very fast. If kick very slow, he's scared to land with his left foot. Therefore, he just like that. So this is important part. Okay, and also we practice 腾空飞脚 have something else. You just take a look. This is a drill to improve his explosive power. So by asking the athletes or by organizing several 腾空飞脚 in order to improve their jumping capacity and also improve their landing skill. They do more, they get used to this. Generally, we can organize, for example, the carpet length. That is, you can ask the athlete repeat 5 times of the 腾空飞脚. If you ask he do one bolt, just go there and immediately return. Generally, you can ask the athlete to do 10 腾空飞脚 once. This is no problem. And another, the 腾空飞脚 also is for the connecting to the other jumps. Right? So in order to do the 腾空飞脚 connect to 侧空翻, you also need to ask the athlete to do this, because the connecting technique is also very important. If the athletes only know how to do 腾空飞脚, but he doesn't know how to land, this is another problem. Therefore, the landing and the connecting technique also should be considered. Okay, this is a 腾空飞脚 connects to the 雀地龙. Take a look. Oh, sorry. 有人对我在讲课。So this is captured by the motion motion capture. It's a Vicon 3-dimension motion analysis system. You will see the athlete, he just press his torso, his body forward in order to make herself can jump for a second, take the second takeoff. This is a lotus jump. Okay, I don't show you this. Because today we just mentioned the basics, right? So show you the front part. And an example of the drill for leg power. So how can we improve the 腾空飞脚's jumping capacity? Here is a kind of example. This is one exercise. I know everyone, you are smart. You can find something else to do it, right? So I will continue. Okay, this is a 礼合腿. Yeah, this is a general kick. So for your students, you just, okay, you do the 礼合腿, blah, 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 blah. You must have the purpose. You have the goal. How can we achieve the goal today? For beginner, they just practice. If they are familiar with the 礼合腿, that's enough. But for the senior athletes, for high-level athletes, how can they do? What we should improve? What's a goal, right? So generally, purpose of the 礼合腿, that is to improve the flexibility and also improve the kick speed and to help the complete 旋风脚. Okay, I will continue. So 礼合 drills for 旋风脚. So because right now, some of you maybe encounter face, how can I instruct, how can I improve my 旋风脚难度的 difficulty? Here is kind of the drills for you. So except we have the just organize one after one to do 礼合腿, right? We also can ask the students, the athletes, to repeat the 礼合腿, just like this. This is one, because for this continues to repeat, that improve the kicking speed and improve the trunk, the core strength. Okay, another drills. So for this, that is what kind of purpose for this? This is after the kick to help athletes know how to turn his body. So after 礼合腿, what should her can do? So this is an exercise to help the athletes to know, to familiar with after 礼合腿 and the twisting in the air. In the air is dangerous. Therefore, we just organize drills, organize exercise on the carpet, on the land. So this is safe, right? So your student, your athlete won't get injury. Okay, 旋风脚, take a look. So what do you think the 旋风脚, what's the level? Maybe the level is lower. Yes, it's not very high, but it's okay. So how to instruct this jump, how to instruct the 旋风脚. First, you must concern the jump height, right? The jump height is very important. And also the leg kicking speed. So how can we improve the leg kicking speed in air? So therefore, we need to instruct, organize kind of 离合腿 practice, the basics of the 离合腿. And also the takeoff technique. So the takeoff technique for the 旋风脚 is very important. It's very important. I will tell you later. And also the core strength. And also landing technique with 1 or 2 legs. This is important. So I will spend the time on this, the 旋风脚. Okay, take a look. This is a 难度, is a 旋风脚 connects to the split, front split. You can see the arms. You see the arm, and also you see the red arrow. Red arrow, that is the fourth plate. So that means when the leg press on the fourth plate, the anti-force from the background just has direct to the up. So this, you can see his body. He keeps his body straight, like this, very straight. If your body split just like this, your turning speeds will be very slowly. So this is a 旋风脚 connects to the 540, 540 connect to the front split. Okay, you may interest on the right side. Okay, what's the curves on the right side, right? The right side on the top, that is center of the mass. So this is the axis of the Z. So that means vertical direction. You can see his center of mass change from this part to this. The highest one, that is 1.6 meter. So this is a 160 centimeter height. So he can jump like this. And also, what kind of the figure of the, on your right side, the lowest one, this is center of the mass, this is the acceleration, so the speed change. So you can see this is the acceleration of his center mass. So jump height, that is a 3.3. The just is a kind of the, how to say, the meter times the square meter, yeah, per second. And this is minus. So the top highest when he's flying is a 3.3. When he's landing, the highest one is a -4. Okay, regarding another athlete's jump, you will see the flexibility is really important. So why we should instruct our athlete to stretch? You will see this. Take a look. This athlete, he's a talent athlete, but he retired very soon. Why I mention his talent athlete? His jumping capacity is really good. You can see he slapped his foot when his center gravity is not reached the highest one. Just during his flying time, takeoff time, he already finished this. You can see the landing. You can see his rear foot really bent, right? For this, his landing almost is a land with his knee. Therefore, it's really hard to hit on his knee. You will see many athletes injured his knee because the wrong landing technique, because of his tight flexibility. His flexibility is limit his split. Therefore, we need to do the drills to improve the flexibility and everything. Okay, another one is why I say the jumping height is important. You can see this talent athlete, when he do the slapping, his flying time is not on the highest one. Even just close to the highest one, he already finished this. The rest part of his kicking is prepared to twist. Okay, I show you again here. Here. You can see his lap, right? And you can see the up one. The up figure, that is the highest one, that is his flying highest height. And you can see the lowest figure, that is if the curve cross the horizontal line, that means this reach the highest, he reaches the top of his flying. Therefore, he just still on his takeoff period, he already finished the snapping. Therefore, when you instruct your athletes do this, you will see where he snap. Does your student, your athlete, snap during his landing or after his dropping? So if like this, you must correct. You must ask him to do more 离合腿, improve his kicking speed, right? And improve exercise, improve his jumping capacity. The better way, I will tell you, continue. I will tell you, how can you do? Okay, there is a question. There is a question. The question is, there are two takeoff styles. Which one is better? I don't know whether you know it's two takeoff style or not. And one leg takeoff. Another one that is a two leg takeoff. So two takeoff method. This is an electromyographic result. So we use electromyographic sensors placed on athlete's muscle, on his lower limbs, and also on his torso, his body, to see which muscle contraction during, which muscle contribute during his takeoff. You can see this. Let me tell you. Okay, the outside one is medial vastus muscle, and the middle one of the quadriceps is rectus femoris. Inside is a vastus lateral muscle. Okay, this is triceps. This is for his calf. So we can see. I will show you this. Okay, the 2 feet jump. First, let's take a look at your left side, the figure. This is 2 feet jump. You can see the medial vastus muscle is contraction, right? And also the rectus femoris contraction. And also vastus lateral muscle also contraction. And you can see this, triceps serratus. This is calf. The calf contraction after the quadriceps, after the top 3 muscles contraction. So what this means? This means for the 2 feet jump, that is squat, and for the calf is not push. Weight the body up, then push. So therefore, the contraction like this. I show you. 2 feet jump. Here, wait. Like this. So the calf don't contraction until body up, then this contraction. Okay, get it? So this is a kind of taking off technique. Okay, regarding the one leg single foot jump. So this figure is single foot jump. Let's see another figure. You will see the rectus femoris didn't contraction too much, right? Didn't contraction too much. You have question. Yes, this is a medial, outside and inside, outside muscle contraction very hard. And also it's very interesting part, that is, you can see the triceps serratus contraction earlier than that one, that than quadriceps, right? Why? Because this kind of technique is quite different. The athlete already tension his calf in order to very fast to take off, unlike the 2-feet jump. Therefore, how can they do? I will show you again. They already tight, very fast, or already tension here, already tension this part. So they're very quick to do this. Therefore, the takeoff of the single foot jump is a faster, right? Okay, you can see the curves, the figure on the top. This is comparison between single leg jump and the 2-feet jump. The red curve, the red line, that is 1 leg jump. So we measured the speed of the toe, the right toes. What's the speed is faster? Obviously, you can see the first part. This is the body off the foot off the ground, and also the spot in the middle of the curve. That is the snap. During the snap, we measure the speed, and also the last one here, the last spot, the cross, the red and the black line cross together, they meet together. That was the moment of the feet together. After the slap, the 2 feet together. So we measure the 3 faces. So the first, you can see while the the foot off the ground, the single foot jump is the kicking speed much faster than 2 feet. And during snapping time, you can see the single foot snapping is much faster than 2 feet jump. And after the 2 feet together, okay, they're similar. Therefore, 1 leg jump, the kicking speed is much faster than 2 feet jump. So therefore, a lot of the athletes, especially female athletes, they select the single leg jump. So the advantage of 1 leg jump is to get higher initial rotation velocity. And the shortage of 1 leg jump is hardly control spinning velocity and posture in air. So this is the advantage of disadvantage of the single leg jump. Okay, you may don't have idea that is what is a 2 feet jump, right? Take a look. This is 2 feet jump. Right? 2 feet together off the ground. Okay, this was in our lab, biomechanics lab. You can see the red light, red light, that is the vacancies. Okay, you can see this, the 2 feet jump together. And his arms swing also we can analyze, but I don't mention today. There also is kind of different arm swinging technique inside before the leg kick or after the leg kick, right? You can see no matter what kind of snapping or takeoff technique, after the kick, the body always straight, very straight in the air. Okay, there kind of suggestion for the suggestion for jumping exercise. This is takeoff drill. So you can see this is for 1 leg jump. But for some athletes, they 2 feet jump. They do the 2 feet jump. Actually, during their takeoff, they just apply 1 leg jump. This is ridiculous. So if your athletes, you observe this is a 1 leg jump, you ask the drill, you organize the drill is a 1 leg jump. If your athletes do 2 feet jump, you organize a 2 feet jump exercise for him. Okay, this is for takeoff drill, 2 legs jump. Yeah, this is 2 feet jump. You will see, oh, yes, the 2 feet jump, it seems twist a lot, right? In fact, in reality, 2 feet jump cannot twist too much, okay? Okay, there is another kind of this suggestion. So even, you don't ask your student to jump, still can improve kind of his tornado pattern exercise. You can see this. In order to let your athletes familiar with the process of the takeoff, start from the landing, then take the step to practice this step by step. So this is a first build up, kind of correct the takeoff, kicking pattern in your student, your athlete's memory. Okay, I show you again. Okay, let me continue, okay? This is a white bike. Generally, we practice white bike, right? But what's the purpose of white bike? Generally, practice white bike is to improve their flexibility, to improve their kick speed, and also to help your athletes can do the 腾空百连 better, right? And also 旋风脚. You may ask me why. This is a white bike. It's not it's outside lotus jump, right? It's a 百连. It's not 旋风脚. In fact, 旋风脚 take off. When you ask your student take off, and he must swing his left foot, right? Therefore, with good outside kicking, is really good for his takeoff. Because when I observe some athletes, he's very hard to push his body off the ground because his body just press his leg on the ground. Therefore, he need very quick to kick his left foot, then he can lean his body to one direction. His body can have the chance to be pushed by his leg. Okay, let me continue. Okay, this is 腾空百连. So we have a good white bike. Therefore, we can instruct your students, your athlete to do the 腾空百连. Regarding the 腾空百连, that is a jump height. First, you need to think about the jump height, the kicking speed. The kicking speed, that is if you have a very good 外摆腿, okay, you have this. And also takeoff technique and the core strength, and also landing technique with 1 or 2 legs. Okay, right now is a jumping lotus kick. So jumping lotus kick, normally we have 2 feet jump, right? And no run up at 540. Some athletes, or they have 1 or 2 steps for run up, right? Generally, they have a semi squat for 540 degree, but some of them for deep squat for 720. Why? Why they have a deep squat? I show you. This is several takes off skill in jumping lotus kick. Some athletes, they just semi squat. For some athletes, even they just squat very high. Why they have a deep squat? Because the deep squat, it takes longer time. They have enough time that your body press on their leg, then they have anti-force. And also deep squat, they have long time to swing his arm. Therefore, he can have initial rotating speed. So this is why. Okay, I don't I will. I don't talk this too much. Yeah, very quick. Okay, this is a side so kick, 侧踹腿. So when we mention 基本， we also use a side so kick, right? So in order to instruct the athletes, you must know, you must find the mistakes or common error from your athletes regarding the tool. For a coach, you must immediately or just you must analyze what's the problem of the two athletes. From my point of view, the front athlete, his flexibility is no problem. However, his technique somehow still can be improved because his kicking is just drop directly. We need the force point just there, kick there, then bam. He just no any stop during his power release. So this is problem. And also he raised his knee is not high enough. For second one, he also is regarding his flexibility of the 横叉 side split. Okay, 蹬腿, take a look. Okay, for the coach, when you instruct them, also it's sometimes for the judge immediately can tell, evaluate who is good, who is bad. For our point of view, the second one, he cannot focus his heel force point and also his push hand. So regarding the push hand, it's also need to organize kind of 手法练习, the hand exercise, hand drills for athletes. Otherwise, he cannot coordinate his arm and to his leg kick. Therefore, you need to do this. How can we do? First, organize kind of punch or hand push, then the kicks, then put together. Let's take a look. You can observe the last one, last athletes, his kick, his push is not focused, right? His pushing is not very good. Okay, 前扫腿. So this is regarding the kicks. This is front sweep. You can see his foot is already off the ground, right? So how can common mistake of the front sweep, that is leg bend. Supporting leg is not horizontal. And the sweep foot is off the floor. So how to improve the quality? Regarding this athlete, when he kick, his foot is off the ground, right? At the beginning, he was already off. Therefore, you need to organize kind of drills to correct his movement. Then first, change his familiar pattern. Let him hand support the ground and as his foot just contacts the surface of the carpet, slowly to sweep. Later on, improve his body, the turning speed, because he cannot, the weak of his core strength, he therefore just kick his leg without any contact the ground because his torso, the core strength of the turning is weak. Therefore, need to organize kind of exercise in order to improve his turning speed like this. Therefore, because his core strength is weak, therefore he has to raise his leg to kick. So this is kind of the exercise, the drills in order to correct his mistake. Okay, 后扫. So we don't see the 后扫. 后扫 is similar like that. Okay, let me continue. This is the 五步拳. I don't know whether you know 五步拳. This is we consider is a simplest form of the Wushu, right? In fact, 五步拳 is not simple. It's quite complicated. So the 五步拳 performed by students. You will see the kids from school, from Wushu club. So you will see their level. So do you see their level? That is really amateur. They just have fun. The students, they after school and they go to Wushu club or the Wushu coach provide kind of service to the school to teach the primary students. Therefore, you will see their 基本功, their basics really bad, right? Maybe you also have this kind of students. Oh my God, their 基本功 is really bad. So the question is, how many times do they practice a week, right? Maybe once a week or twice a week. Maximum is twice a week. And also another question is, if you have if you have 100 students in a class, how can you spend time to correct? Therefore, in order to improve the athletes level, for this, for fun, okay, you just instruct, organize the practice together and tell them the common mistakes. If you have athletes, you need to step by step, point to point to correct the movements. So that's a different kind of correcting method. So regarding the kids perform the 五步拳, then we must know his 步行, his stances are not correct. So the 弓步 we need to improve. So we have several exercise to improve his 步行. And also, if the kids 跑步 is not very good, we also have some exercise to improve his 跑步. So this is an example. Show you. This is an example, and also it's a complicated movement, right? Can improve his arm, his speed of the arm, and also the stances of his crouch stance, his 跑步. So, actually we have different ways to arrange the students to practice. This is one example. And also we have kind of the 虚步. So for your students, you must know the 虚步. When your student do the 虚步stand very high, the first concern you need to think about his leg power, because his leg is not strong enough. He cannot squat very low. Therefore, slowly ask your student to do this, or stand there for maybe half a minute or 1 minute in order to improve his stance. We have many drills, important and also economical time-saving method. Ask your student to stand there for a certain period, such as 1 minute of the 弓步, 1 minute of 马步, like this, 1 minute of the 虚步, or 30 seconds of 虚步, just like this. It's very fast to improve. And also, the student stand the 步行, the stances there, his muscle can remember the right position But this is the situation that is stand there. He must to practice the movements, the muscle, and also the stimulant can be stored in his memory. He can remember, okay, his stance is at right position or not. Okay, this is the basics of the Wushu. This is what I want to share my knowledge to you. So I wish you have some question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zhudong. Thank you very much. Now we have a Q&A session. Does anyone has any questions? Please raise your hand. I will cancel the mute for you. Okay, we have two volunteers. The first one is Ya Pan. You may ask your question now.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. I am Ayappan from India, sir. Sir,
Okay.
in Wushu, there are two types of takeoff. One is two-leg takeoff and one is a single leg takeoff. The two-leg takeoff will help to the reach high, but the single leg takeoff will help to reach the velocity, higher velocity. Sir, before jump, the hand swing will help to reach the high. After the jump, the hand swing, the below angles, the low angles will increase the velocity. But my question is, if one person doing Chan Kwan, there is no any apparatus in hand, though they can do swing. But if one person doing Nangun or Gunshoot type of event, because this is the jump, takeoff, and swing also correlated with the angular momentum. Because higher radius will decrease the velocity. Below radius will increase the velocity. But if one person doing with the apparatus, how to teach the techniques? Because the stick will long, this also a radius in air, so it will reduce the velocity.
Yeah.
What is the technique, sir? This kind of event, which technique we have to teach the player?
So your question is really good. The takeoff technique of the weapon or the bare hand is quite different. So one Wushu coach, he conducted his research at our university. His study is focused on the weapons. So, for the weapons, it's quite difficult because if you want to gain the momentum, you have to increase this. But there's no any other way can do. So you have to increase your core strength and also kind of technique. And also for landing, also it's very difficult because when you land, you still have kind of rotation momentum. Therefore, you need to split your legs to increase the rotation momentum and slow down the spinning velocity. So this is
we need to extend the leg for control the velocity.
Yeah, and also for the spear and the portion, the parts where you hold also is important. For some people, if hold this to spin, it's really hard. So find the right position to spin. If you spin like this to take off very fast. So if rotation. Rotation close to your body. Yeah, just like this position is better. So remember, shorten the diagram to your body. Then you can have a lower, you have a less momentum and a higher velocity. Yeah. So you try to use this kind of idea. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
I wish I answered your question.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So,
yes, sir. I got it, sir.
Next one, we have a Tofik.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Judong and the International Wushu Federation for hosting such wonderful training course. I'm from Ethiopia. My name is Tofik Shume. Mr. Judong, I would like to ask you two questions. This is about, there are three types of stretching types, that is dynamic, static, and PNF stretching types. Which one is more good for Wushu athletes? Because when I was in Shanghai University with you in 2008, I can see students practicing before any exercise, the static one. So which one is the best one for Kung Fu Wushu students? This is my first question. And the other question is, in some China schools, I saw people training before any warming up exercises, stretching exercises, like splitting. As you know, in sports science, it is said that before any exercise, we should do warming up exercises, like jogging, running, or something like that. But in China, I saw so many schools, they're just, when they come to school, they just stretch directly, the static stretching part. So what do you advise us to practice on such way to improve our flexibility? Thank you very much, Mr. Judong.
Okay, thank you. The topic here, we are old friends, so it's very, it's very nice to see you again. Regarding your first question, that is, in my point of view, the PNF stretching is the most suitable for Wushu athletes. What is a PNF stretching? That is the coach or someone else help the student to stretch. Hold there, they just against each other. They use the power. For example, I press the student's leg like this, and the student also against me. So hold there for a few seconds. Later on, let your student breathe, deep breathe. Then you push a little harder. When the athlete feels sore, then you hold there and you against each other for a few seconds. Why this is is a better way to stretch? Because this PNF stretching technology or skill is verified by science, sports science. Scientists already find out this is good. And I also discussed with the rhythmic gymnastic coach. She answered me, yeah, why this is not good? This is good because the athlete's tired, his muscle tired, therefore he just has less power to against the coach stretching. Therefore, slowly he just relax, and his nerve system is less tension. Therefore, you can slowly push, press like that. So for kind of the psychological situation, that is the PNF just makes the athletes get used to this kind of sore. Then when he get used to this kind of sore, then you slowly press more. Then he get used to this kind of sore, then you press. So slowly he gets the pain. Get used to the pain, then you just give him more pain like this. So this is better way and a gentle way. Unlike when I was young and the coach, they don't care whether you pain or not, just press, really painful. Regarding the dynamic stretching, this is most athletes, you will see they just do the dynamic one. This is for already flexibility has been developed already. For this kind of athletes, they just try to use this less time to stretch to make them just warm up. So this dynamic is for the just already the good experiences, Wushu athletes. And another one that is static is just slowly hold there. This is takes time, but it's really safe in stretching. In China, in traditional one, we call the stretching, we have a 施拉班号. That is 施 is a tier, 班 is someone to stretch. How that is that's your mass gravity to bring your body to stretch. Therefore, when you're tired, you just cannot against this your body weight. Therefore, your split can be down, just like that. So I think the first question I already answered. Regarding the second one, the warm up, right? Yes, you observe many athletes in China, they just stretch immediately. Yeah, so that's why in this kind of lecture, I didn't say our Chinese coach, they have very good coaching strategy or coaching method. Still, some parts still need to be improved, right? Therefore, you can see the students, they just come and sit down and do pita. This is not right. In fact, they do the warm up. Then when their muscle is less sticky, then it's time to stretch to do something else. So you are right. We need to do the warm up. So far, the Wushu still need everyone to think about the better warm up, more interesting warm up for every athlete. Therefore, they can feel more interesting.
Thank you.
I wish I answered your question.
So much. Thank you so much. Clear.
You're
Thank
welcome.
Okay, I notice Yapan raised his hand again. Do you still have more questions to ask? Yes. Hang on. I noticed there's one person, Ramsey, asked me a question personally on the chatting room. His question is, would you please tell me how to improve Shibu position?
Okay, Shibu, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Shibu position, that is what kind of situation you have. For example, if your athletes have very high Shibu, okay, I show you. I think I don't sit here. So if your athlete stand like this, right? So it's not good. So you must know whether flexibility here is bad. For some athletes, he has leg power, but flexibility of this is limited. He squat down. Therefore, you need to do exercise in order to improve the motion range of his ankle. Therefore, you can ask the student to do kind of the stretching on his ankle. Or if the leg power is lack of leg power, that is easy. For example, you can do Shibu, right? You also can do something else. For example, like this. Here, sit down, up, right? And you can change a lower bench. And another way is someone to hold his hand like this, then this, and this. Okay, another exercise. For example, you can ask your student hold something to this. He can support his body like this, do more like this. Okay, regarding the ankle flexibility, you can ask your athlete. You can raise ankle like this. Use his body press on his ankle, right? For this, it's really hard because for some people, the motion range of his ankle is a limit. Only the exercise they feel is limited to improve the part. So therefore, he can turn his toes a little outside in order to compensate the motion range. For example, if like this, it's very hard, right? Turn outside. Turn the toes turn outside more, then squat. This is can increase the motion range, of his ankle. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, Ramsey is online, and I think the answer is very clear. Okay. Do you have any more questions to ask? Yes? No? All right. So, okay. Before we finish, for your information, tomorrow at the same time, we have Ms. Montov, who is from Capital University of Physical Education and Sports, and she will give us another lecture named Elementary Actions and Skills of 八卦掌 Part 1. So thank you for your time and thank you for your attention, and we will look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.